Hello, and thank you for watching today's Canada Regional Forecast. I'm Andrew Pritchard, meteorologist with Nutrien Ag Solutions. So you look at the temperatures over the next 5 to 7 days across the Canadian Prairie. We see a cool bias here, but it's really going to be a temperature roller coaster. It's not as if we'll be steady here a few degrees below average. We'll actually see some above normal warmth mixed in here as we kind of ride a roller coaster with several systems passing through the region. Precipitation over the next week, dry-ish across the prairie. We do have a couple systems that are going to be sneaking through, and I'll show you here. It's actually a fairly active pattern when we talk about upper level disturbances, but it's a moisture starved pattern. So while we've got a few storm systems that will sneak through here, most of the precipitation going to be falling north of the prairie here over the next week. Taking a look at the satellite picture here on Monday morning, again, we see this big counterclockwise swirl. This is the storm system that dumped all the heavy snow across Manitoba and parts of the northern U.S. and brought the cold temperatures back to the region. It continues to really spin away and decay across the Great Lakes into parts of Ontario this morning. So that thing has not made much progress in terms of moving out of here as it continues to kind of spin down. Looking at the radar then, underneath those clouds, we do have some light precipitation, a light wintry mix making its way through the area with the storm system right here. As we wake up on Monday morning, precipitation falling across parts of Alberta and into Saskatchewan, and then we'll see some of that making its way into southern Manitoba as we head through the next 24 to 36 hours. Snow cover on the ground, well, of course, that last storm system over the end of the week into the weekend, dumping a lot of snow across parts of North Dakota into southern Manitoba. We also saw some snow falling across high elevations here of western Alberta and then into parts of southern Saskatchewan as we got into Thursday and Friday. That mostly has melted across southern Saskatchewan, just a little bit here in patchy areas as we wake up and begin this week. Looking at the snow water equivalent then, so we're looking at how much water, if we melt down the snowpack here, do we end up with kind of, if we were melting this down, the equivalent of how much rainfall we'd get. And again, as we look at parts of North Dakota into southern Manitoba, seeing anywhere from 2 to 5 inches or from 5 to 15 or so centimeters of precipitation on the ground that's going to be melting down quickly as we go through the next week or so, bringing in some warmer temperatures at times. And that's a lot of water that's going to be melting in. We'll have to watch for a flooding risk across parts of Manitoba into the northern plains of the U.S. Now, again, looking at the high-resolution NAM model, this is again focused on the U.S., but we can pick up the storm system that's making its way through the prairie as we get the week started, showing some of this wintry precipitation making its way through. We'll time this out. So waking up here on Monday morning, watching the system sneak through Alberta and Saskatchewan, it makes its way into southern Manitoba by the time we get to tonight. So some light precipitation possible as we head into the overnight, and then early morning hours on Tuesday across Manitoba, maybe some light snow, some light rain. Not expecting any significant accumulations from this, as again, it quietly makes its way out of here by the time we get to Tuesday afternoon. Now, taking a wider look at potential vorticity, this is a plot that helps us kind of pick storm systems out here. So you see the spiraling areas, these swirls of the red shading here, that's higher vorticity values. And where we see high areas of vorticity moving, that's where we see upward motion and cloud cover and precipitation. So again, an easy way to pick out storm systems across the region. So there's the big one making its way out of the region. This is the storm system sneaking through right now. And then this is the train that lingers off behind. So let's go ahead and let's play this out through the next few days. That'll show the active pattern that I'm talking about, the active upper level pattern. Again, beginning the week here, watching this system sneak through the southern prairie here and making its way into the northern plains Monday and Tuesday. We'll watch another system eject then here as we get into Tuesday evening and into Wednesday. Let's play this out a little bit further. That quickly sneaks through here through the day on Wednesday. And then as we wake up on Thursday, watching another wave push through. This goes through on Thursday. And then look at this. Just Friday, Saturday, a whole mess of energy tracking through the prairie. So we would expect it to be very active. But when we look at precipitable water, so we're looking at the moisture content within the atmosphere. Again, here's the storm system that made its way through over the weekend. And you see it brought a front through that's stalled in this region. We've got very high moisture values south of that front. Behind the front, very dry air mass, one that's not conducive for heavy precipitation. So let's just play this out as we go through the weekend. You're going to watch these storm systems tracking through. We'll see this first one that comes out here. Well, the first one's moving through now. We'll see it tracking through right here through parts of the southern prairie as we go through the day today. Moving on into the Great Lakes here is where we see it pulling in a little bit more moisture. You're seeing some of this moisture feeding up now along and ahead of that front. So some storms possible across the Midwest with this storm system as we get into Tuesday afternoon. But we'll take the drawings off here. We watch this next little wave push through as we get into Tuesday and Wednesday. And again, watching some moisture present, but this is where the higher moisture is south of this front now, way down across the southern U.S. into the Gulf of Mexico. We'll watch this next system come through here Wednesday and Thursday. And again, each one bringing with it a little bit of Pacific moisture, but really starved for deep moisture that would produce any significant precipitation. We see this one making its way out of here as we get into Thursday and then getting into Friday. Still, again, you're seeing the deeper moisture off here across parts of the U.S., getting into the Great Lakes. This is where we expect more widespread precipitation, but when we're seeing these lighter values here across the prairie, this is, again, it's a dry air mass and one that doesn't support heavy precipitation. So maybe spent a little more time on that plot than I needed to, but really showing you that as we head through the next week, even though we're active across this region with upper level disturbances moving through the area, all of the deep moisture that would help produce more significant precipitation kind of trapped here across the southern United States. So we'll watch this first system sneak through the region here as we go through Monday. We'll begin to play this out. I'll stop it and bring it back. So here comes the first system sneaking through, again bringing some light precipitation to this area as we head through the next 24 hours. Getting into the day on Tuesday, watching our next system begin to eject across the Rockies. Here it is now, making its way across parts of southern Alberta as we wake up on Wednesday morning. So this moves through the area during the day on Wednesday, again bringing some light snow, possibly likely to areas mostly north of the prairie. Again, a moisture-starved system. Here comes another low here Thursday evening into Friday, bringing some precipitation again to areas mostly north of the prairie here during the day, Thursday into Thursday night and Friday. And then as we head into the weekend, that upper level pattern continues to be fairly busy, and with some cooler air on the backside here, maybe the chances for some light precipitation. But now we're getting way out into next week, and we're going to go ahead and leave the details off here. We're seeing the indications we could get a rather large storm system across parts of the central U.S. as we get into Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday of next week. But again, we'll just kind of leave details out there. But again, just kind of showing you it's an active pattern here, but the storm systems that track through are going to be mostly moisture starved, and that's going to keep a big chunk of the prairie dry or mostly dry as we head through the next week, but going to keep the temperatures on a bit of a roller coaster. So our probability here of getting at least 3 inches of snow, which would again be about 6, 7, 8 centimeters of snow here. So just light accumulations. As we take this through the next few days, we'll take it all the way into the weekend. Again, seeing the chances for some light snow accumulation across areas mainly north of the prairie and then in the higher elevations of the Rockies. As we look at the higher production Canadian prairie agricultural areas, likely not looking at any significant accumulations, if any snow accumulation at all. Again, just because these storm systems are rather moisture starved. So if we take the total accumulated precipitation from the GFS here and just take it through the end of the work week, we'll go all the way out to Friday night now. Again, seeing more concentrated precipitation north of an inch or 25 millimeters here across areas north of the prairie. But as we look at the higher production Canadian prairie area, really largely getting missed with hit or miss opportunities for some light rain or maybe some light flurries as we head through the week. Now your temperatures, this is where these storm systems tracking through the area will have an impact. Again, green and blue shading where we are cooler than average, and then the brown and red shading where we're warmer than average. We'll focus on the prairie here, and as I just play this for the next week, there's the red, there comes the blue and the green, there's the red again. So again, every 2 to 3 days, we're seeing some fluctuations here. Some cooler temperatures to start the week off. We begin to rebound as we head into Wednesday and Thursday, so maybe some warmth as we head into the end of the week. Another shot of cooler air comes in quickly on the backside of that, though, cooling us down by the time we get into Saturday night and Sunday and into early next week. So as we look at the next 7 days here, some cooler temperatures to start, warmth at the end of the work week, with cooler temperatures coming in on the backside of the weekend. A zoom-in shot here, looking at precipitation over the next 5 days, taking it through the work week here across Alberta. We'll go ahead and pause this on Friday evening as the plot ends here, looking at total precipitation for the coming week. And again, most of that going to be falling north of the higher production prairie area. We're talking about anywhere between 20 to 30 millimeters of precipitation in the core of this here across parts of northern Alberta into northern Saskatchewan, with the potential to remain rather dry across southern Alberta for the next week. Total snow here, again, just patchy light amounts as we look at mostly the northern prairie, perhaps some flurries across southern Alberta. Not likely seeing any snow accumulation from this, though, as we head through the next week. Your high temperatures for the day on Monday in the single digits. Overnight lows dropping to near freezing, a couple degrees below that. Tuesday afternoon highs getting above double digits here in the southern prairie, anywhere from 5 to 8 degrees north of that. Your overnight lows Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, quite warm across the prairie again here, 8-9 degrees for your overnight low as you wake up on Wednesday. And then warming up quite nicely again towards the end of the week. Your Wednesday high temperatures well into the teens to near 20 degrees across southern Alberta. We'll shift off to the east then, looking at total precipitation across Saskatchewan and Manitoba. Again, much of this north of the prairie here, with anywhere from 20 to 30 millimeters of precipitation possible in the higher areas here across northern Saskatchewan, primarily with some higher totals possible as well into northern Manitoba. But again, the Canadian prairie, the prairie areas of Saskatchewan and Manitoba, likely going to be mostly dry with these moisture-starved storm systems moving through the area. Total snow accumulation, we could have some light accumulations from this Monday system tracking through. Otherwise, not looking at any snow across the prairie here, just some accumulations here mid to late week possible across northern Saskatchewan and northern Manitoba. Your high temperatures for the day on Monday, mostly in the lower single digits across the prairie. Overnight lows right around freezing, maybe a degree or two below or above that. Your high temperatures for the day on Tuesday, again in the single digits, right around 2, 3, 4 degrees. Overnight lows Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, again near freezing. And then the warmth starts to push in from the southwest Wednesday. High temperatures across southern Saskatchewan on Wednesday in the mid-teens to near 20 degrees off to the southwest. But then check it out across southern Manitoba. We got a lot of snow to melt over here, and that is going to keep things cooler. So not really feeling that warmth quite as much across Manitoba. High temperatures for the day on Wednesday, still in the single digits. As always, Eric Snodgrass will have an in-depth look at the evolution of the next 1 to 2 weeks in our ag forecast video that was posted this morning. We'll be back to talk about the Canadian prairie once again on Wednesday morning. Have a great day and a wonderful start to your week.